Hi, I'm John McMaine, Assistant Professor in Extension, State Specialist, Water Management Engineer with SDSU Extension. So I work with water management, both in agriculture and urban areas. Water is the biggest variable, in my opinion, for economic productivity in the state of South Dakota because water affects agriculture every year. We either have not enough, like in 2021, or too much, like in 2019. And even in years 2018, 2017, where it was wet or dry, we still had the opposite end of the spectrum that gave us issues. So we either had too much or not enough, sometimes both those situations in the same year. Now, how can we do anything about this, water management? Well, we can do things like drainage, structural practices. Drainage helps us deal with excess water, but it doesn't help us in drought. So to manage both extremes, we can do things like controlled drainage, where we can actually turn off the drainage or keep water in the field. You can see a control structure behind me here. And drainage water recycling, where we actually collect water and then cycle it back into the field for irrigation when it gets hot and dry. It's hard to study water quality when there is no rain and when there is no runoff. And so we've really gone hard into looking at things like soil moisture. One of the biggest variables related to soil moisture is soil cover, soil type, and then how much water gets pulled out of the ground by the crop, or evapotranspiration, the combination of evaporation and transpiration. And so we're looking at soil moisture under different variables like with and without cover crops, conventional till and no-till, drained and undrained. We're doing this at both the plot scale at the research farm near Beersford, South Dakota, and we're doing it across a watershed northwest of Sioux Falls in the Willow Creek watershed. And both of these, we're covering over about 50 different fields or plot combinations, variable combinations, to look at soil moisture, especially in drought conditions this year, and how those are affected by how we manage the landscape, what we do in our agricultural systems, and how that can help us manage soil moisture. What questions can I answer about drought in South Dakota? One question that we think about a lot is how do different agricultural systems help us manage water the best? And unfortunately, it's not necessarily an answer that gives us a solution right now. But it's kind of building these systems to be more resilient over both weather extremes. Now, something like no-till or cover crops are going to leave more residue on the soil surface. Now, that's going to help us reduce evaporation. Every year we can get a crop into the ground. Well, I shouldn't say every year, because 2019 was pretty rough for that. But almost every year we can get a crop into the ground. So that gets us to first base. Now that extra cover or controlled drainage that's holding some water in the field, that helps us advance to second base, because we're just saving a little bit of extra moisture, maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches. And then all we need is a timely rain to then go from second base to third base, or third base, all the way home. So think about how we manage systems to get the most use out of our water. That is what helps us be more resilient to drought.